Right. Well, I hear you, but I'm going to tell the Illuminati the same thing that I told the Freemasons. They don't do anything without my say first. Okay, you know, and I know the Catholic Church went in on this. They can hold they can hold their little big clown hats. Okay, they can hold their hats. I know. This is why we had to fake the moon landing. Okay. Yeah. I get that. I get it. I get it. But if everyone knew the Earth was flat this whole time, it's just it. Yeah. If the world was really a round ball, we'd all be getting dizzy right now. Okay. The Earth is flat. I know. Okay. So the lizard people, the lizard people. Okay. Oh, well, hello there. That was a joke for the beginning of the video, of course. So, welcome to our next edition of AI Star Wars. This time we're doing The Last Jedi, the most controversial movie in the Star Wars series. I think that's a fair statement to make. But either people say this one's their best, their masterpiece, or at least one of their best, or in a masterpiece, or they say it is the one of the at least worst. My opinion is I don't like it myself personally. I don't know. It's not like it's bad. In fact, my main complaint with the movie is that it's too perfect. That's my biggest problem with The Last Jedi. That is not much of a complaint. But I don't know, it's just not as memorable as the others for me. They don't have as many quotable lines. Something seems off with it. That's the best way I can describe it. And there really isn't anything off with it. But I feel for J.J. Abrams because he had to come in with Rise of Skywalker and try to make sense of The Last Jedi, how it works. Whether you like The Last Jedi or not, you have to admit it's hard for directors coming in and having to do something with some other group that were doing their own ideas. And to be fair to Disney with this, that's how the original movies were made, and it did work. In that situation, it worked. But in this situation, it created very dual ideas about Star Wars. So we'll get started here on retelling this story with AI in just a moment. I'll do a recap, but this is usually where I just say what's going on and just we kind of relax and make sure everybody's coming in. But yeah, I'm doing great. Just living the life, If you have to excuse me if my eyes seem a little red, I just put in my contacts, but I'll be all right here in a moment. But anything else going on? I'm making a whole bunch of videos. I'm trying to get to 50 before this year is over, and I'm doing pretty good. I'm already at like 26 with this one, so we're halfway there. I'm gonna push through this, and I am gonna have the Seth talk coming out very soon. I was just trying to pick the best ending for all this. I really wanted a guest on, but it's so hard. None of the people in Garrett County like being on film. It's sad. I wish I could find somebody who actually likes being on camera like myself, but I just don't really know many people. Most people do not like being on camera. I don't understand that. I come from a philosophy of loving being on camera, just making a fool of myself. So it's just not something a philosophy I understand. And it's weird to me when people say they don't like being on camera, but yeah, I can't force them, So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll have a guest on the last episode of Seth Talk, or maybe we will not. But now we're just waiting. I'm going to do the recap, though, at the 5-minute mark, too, because I want people to understand what's been going on. So we're almost there. 10 seconds. We're going to drink real quick. When last we left our heroes, Luke Skywalker was, fighting Darth Vader and had managed to escape, although he lost his arm. Han Solo is now 20 years younger. He still was able to have a child with Leia, though. I guess Leia has the Force powers, so she had a child, little Benjamin, who's much nicer. Kylo Ren no longer exists, and Rey is not in the story, but Poe and Finn are still, and they are all escaping from the Empire, which keeps going like a Terminator. You hit the Empire, and they keep coming. And so now we're going to see, because as you all know, The Last Jedi is supposed to be where Luke Skywalker dies. But maybe in this version, he won't. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to put it on share, and we will begin. Star Wars The Last Jedi. Oh, wait, that's the Wikipedia article. I want the Google Gemini thing. Share. I keep the Wikipedia article up, so I'm going to make sure everything's good. It looks like it is. Just double check, because sometimes this device will show that it's up there and then it won't be. It looks like we are all good. We are going to begin. Is everybody ready? All right, we'll see what happens. Is Luke Skywalker going to die this time? We'll find out. All right, I'm nervous. Luke Skywalker. No, I don't want to put you. I'm going to put you. You? So this is when you sit with Han Solo. I'm glad that you and Leia. We're going to do a little bit of personality stuff. It's good to have a little bit of character in your story. Leia, have been so happy, you say. And little Benjamin is such a good boy. And little Benjamin is such a good boy. Han Solo smiles at you. We've come a long way, Luke, together. I do dislike how in the sequel series, even though I guess I do pretty much like the sequel series as at least a C grade thing. I have to admit, I don't always like the way they treated the original trio. I mean, first off, they killed all of them. I hope that's not spoiling things. I guess most people would have probably figured out by now that the main trio of Star Wars is dead. And I get to a degree killing them. I think after some time passes, they are going to get old. And they are eventually going to die. It's just life. It's just, I don't like the way they did it, especially when it comes to Luke Skywalker. That was the worst kill. I'm hoping the whole thing is like an Agatha Christie style twist, but I don't know. We've come a long way, Luke. He says, I owe you a lot. I'm so glad I chose to go with that young farm boy on the adventure. And have an adventure. The best decision of my life. The two of you smile at each other. Your hand is now fixed. Hope is on the horizon. I wonder if that sentence has ever been said. It's a really good sentence. Hope is on the horizon. I suppose some poet must have said it at some point. All right, let's see what AI says. He's going to just repeat what I said. Yeah. I know that we are ready for whatever the future holds. And another line that probably has been said. I know that we are ready for whatever the future holds. All right. You get on the ship. Leia is there. We're gonna speed it up though a little bit because this one might be long. This one's gonna be interesting because it's gonna be a lot about what Luke decides to do in specific situations. It's gonna really change the direction of the story. And I also need all of your help because I was trying to decide whether Han Solo should be on the bridge when the enemy ship fires on them. And I don't know. I don't know if he would be. He's kind of a mechanic, though, so I don't feel like he would. But you don't have much time to enjoy yourselves. It's time to enjoy yourselves. Your ship is attacked. The enemy is upon you. Is upon you. Even as you travel at light speed, we're just going to say, I think it's warp speed. I don't know, we're going to say light speed. Even as you travel at light speed, they still find a way to track you down. You can't understand it. They must have some technology to be able to find you. And then it happens. The bridge blows up. You and Leia. I'm just going to let Han live. It would make more sense story-wise if he didn't, but even Poe wasn't there. And also, I just like keeping these characters alive. I'm not as gung-ho as Disney is to kill them all. Maybe one of them. I could take that, but it's just... they really, really wanted to kill these people. You and Leia are flung. Unless it's like a comic relief. Oh, the comic reliefs don't get to die. C-3PO doesn't get to die. Wookiee doesn't get to die. I guess only the humans get to die. That is so humanist of you, Disney. Humanist. I guess you can use that term. We've never had to. There's only humans on Earth, so we can't. A humanist actually is just a thing where you like spread the joy of humanity, right? That's not actually a thing where you're like being like subjective to people that are human. Not yet. Who knows? When AI starts walking around, maybe we'll have humans and robots and we can call things humanist if we want. Are flung out of the space shuttle. What do you do? Now, I know that what I do in this situation, after I gained quite a lot of force powers over the years, and I was thinking about this, the new version of Luke from this story might end up having less force power than the version from the original trilogy and the sequel series. The original one, not the AI one. But the AI one did get that extra year with Yoda, but he also didn't get to go to that island where they had all those Jedi books and stuff. So he might not know all the stuff that this version of Luke does. He might know less. He might know more than the AI version of Luke. But even so, surviving out in space for a little while, I feel like Luke could do very easily with the Force. Let's see what he does. Maybe he'll try something else. I don't know. The vacuum of space is a silent, cold terror. One moment Leia and I are in the cockpit. The next, we are flung out into the star-strewn blackness. The roar of the explosion replaced by a horrifying silence. The lack of air, the biting cold, the impossible speeds. It should have killed us instantly. But I am a Jedi, and she is my sister. My instincts take over. My logical mind doesn't panic. It acts. I reach out with the Force, not with a thought, but with a pure primal instinct. I wrap my power around Leia and myself, a bubble of concentrated Force energy. It is not a shield against physical objects. but a container for the very air we are breathing, a desperate final attempt to keep us alive. The air in our bubble is thin, but it is there. I can feel Leia's terror, her surprise, but I can also feel her trust. She is a Jedi too, and she knows what I'm doing. We are not just floating. The Force is guiding us. Okay, I think we can go through this. We are not alone. We are not helpless. So, this is interesting, though, because since he does that, that means, since he's there, Leia's not going to have to use the Force herself, and she's not going to get injured and not be able to make decisions, especially the important decisions that are going to be made right in a moment. You land Leia and yourself back into the spaceship. Everyone is ecstatic that you're alive. And not a scratch on you or Leia. Let's see. To you or Leia. So, now you need to come up with a strategy to stop. Strategy. I forget how to spell strategy. There we go. I think that's right. Strategy to stop the enemy ship. You have a plan. You will find the tracker. And I know that this was actually technically, this information was given to him by Rose, I believe. Yeah, let's rewrite that. So Finn and Rose and BB, gosh, what is his name? BB? We'll just call him BB. So Finn and Rose and BB come up. They want to investigate a planet that will eventually get them to turn off the enemy's tracker on all of you. So here Luke can make the decision to go himself with them. And we don't have the Rey and Luke story going on here, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's see, and on all, so he's going to have to decide if he wants to go with them. That's what I'm going to see. Do you want them to go? Or should you go with them? As you are thinking about this, Darth Vader's voice sounds out from... Should I do that? Would Darth Vader, do you think, talk to Luke right now? One of the reasons why he hasn't tried to communicate with him is because Palpatine is gaining like power, and I don't think he would just be like contacting him yet. He's going to want to get him when they're back in full force and they actually have a chance to win. That was the reason he did it in the Return of the Jedi. He contacted Luke to get him to fight and to get them, to try to get him on his side. As you're thinking about this, so should Darth Vader talk to Luke right now and try to get him to turn himself in, basically, and fight him, and hopefully do the same thing he did in Return of the Jedi? That is a tough one. And there's also some other stuff that could be going on with Poe. Poe eventually mutinies everybody. Man, this is a hard one. I'm trying to decide what Darth Vader would do, basically. Anybody have any ideas? Hmm. It's corrupting him, which prompted Kylo to destroy Luke's new Jedi Order. I'm just looking through the Wikipedia thing. I've just watched this movie, by the way. I really do know what happens. I'm just making sure, I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around what exactly would happen right here. We don't have to worry about freaking Kylo Ren anymore, which might be an improvement on the original series. So that was Poe's decision. Now we don't have to worry about Leia because she didn't fall asleep, so she's just going to be there. Yeah, I think that would be kind of the main thing going on. So I'd say Darth Vader might try to contact Luke at this point. It's a possibility, at least. At that moment, Darth Vader interrupts your thoughts. Luke. Luke, come to me, he says. We have much to discuss. Find me, and we may perhaps show mercy. Because he thinks he's already won. That's another thing. It's about whether or not Darth Vader thinks they've won. And in this situation, I do think they would think, man, we've got him. I mean, there's nothing they can do. So let's get Luke. We need Luke because Luke's going to be important. We want him to try and strike Palpatine down. Show mercy to the rebels. This might be a shorter one than we think, though, if he goes the Darth Vader route, because if he does that, that means we're basically just going to the end of The Last Jedi, only with Darth Vader this time. Either way, we're gonna figure it out. You can't tell if he's being. You have to make a decision. A decision. You can still escape from the Empire for a while longer. I think that's safe to say. But for how long? So, what? I'm going to rephrase this for it. So, what will it be? Go with Finn, Rose, and BB? Or go to Darth Vader? Or is there anything wrong? Does anyone have a problem with what I'm doing right now? I think this is a realistic situation to occur, at least. Try to be as logical about this as possible. What I can. That's why it's live, so you all can disagree with me if you want. I totally get it. I want to be as precise about this as possible. That's the fun of it. You want to be precise, even over storytelling goals. This is about deciding what would happen if Luke had been logical in all of his decision making with Finn, Rose, and BB. Or you can keep escaping, or both send Finn, Rose, and BB off and keep escaping while they're gone. It's going to get confusing for it. Oh, well. Or what other choices are there? So what will it be? Go with Finn, Rose, and BB. Go to Darth Vader. Keep escaping. Send Finn, Rose, and BB off and keep escaping while they're gone. Or I can't think of anything else. Or something else, I'll just put. I think that'll do. Okay. My heart is pounding, but a wave of relief washes over me. Leia and I are safe. We're back on the ship. Oh, it's going to do a logical analysis. Let's just get through this. Logical analysis. Go with Finrose. Go. Ah, the decision is to send Finrose and BB off and keep escaping. This is the most logical and strategic choice. The mission to disable the tracker is critical for our survival. Finrose and BB. Oh, that's one of the things I wanted to say. Do you want to go with them? Would you like to go with them? Like to go with them? Or stay on board the ship? Would you like to go with them or stay on board the ship? Yeah. This will be interesting. I've already made my choice. My place is to stay on board the ship and lead the rest of the crew to safety. Yes! That is what I would choose too. You know, you have Luke going off and fighting on planet Endor and stuff and using him as like freaking like meat, basically, even though he just literally saved the entire universe from the Death Star. It's just like, come on, guys. I know he's older now, but yeah. Actually, let's talk about that a little bit. So they go off. You love those kids. Crazy guys. You and Han Solo hang out a bit. You're a little bit jealous of her. He's past that at this point. Hang out a bit. You have to admit, it's weird to you that while you have aged, Han Solo is only 10 years younger now. I just can't get over how interesting that. It's amazing that kind of switch up took place in this story. I will admit, I kind of cheated to have that happen, have Han Solo be 10 years younger in this version, or actually, I think he's 20 years younger. He's 20 years younger in this version of the story. But it makes it a lot more fun. And it could have happened. It could have happened that way. I mean, these things, you kind of got to feel it out a little bit with these things. Just be like, what would be cool that could happen? And then just do it because you want to. It's weird to you. It's weird to you that while you 10 years younger from your time fighting from your time when you first met him. We'll just say when you first met him, even though that would be a few years. It'd probably be actually 2 extra years, I think. I forget. I'm sorry. I know it's a year between the events of Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. I'm not sure about A New Hope and an Empire Strikes Back. It might have been a year with that too. I'm not sure. Time when you first met him. He moves so spryly. Of course, you also move pretty good. Thanks to the power of the Force. Still, it is strange seeing your friend as if he is from the past. You talk to him about hearing Darth Vader. Everything good on here? Yeah. You talk to him about hearing Darth Vader. Do y'all like the keyboard clicking? I find that really relaxing, actually. You could probably just listen to that on like one of those ASMR videos, which I am going to do. It takes time to make these videos to him about, especially when you're working alone without any pay, you know. Everything good on here? Yeah. Okay, you talk to him about hearing Darth Vader, wondering if it's a trap. Well, just shh. Wondering if it is a trap, like Akbar would say. Oh, Akbar. Like General Akbar. the octopus man that was clearly the inspiration for the Futurama character. Wondering if it's a track like Akbar says, or if there is indeed good in him. Han Solo listens, but he warns you that you can't be too careful with these things. After all, you just lost a hand for it. Man, I do like that Darth Vader is such a crazed villain that he's willing to chop off his own son's hand and then still finds a way to do the right thing. He's really not too different from Kylo Ren in a lot of ways, as much as I hate to admit it. And to be fair to both Darth Vader and Kylo Ren, there's some dark powers working on them, and it's understandable. I don't like the way they covered it. Really, they have to make a prequel series to the sequel series because they didn't explain how Kylo Ren turned evil. It's just, I think Kylo Ren might have been a bad choice on the storyteller's part. But this version doesn't have him or Rey, so, everybody's happy. It probably won't have Rey. I don't think Rey's going to get into the story. Han is right, as usual. Han listens. He doesn't judge me. He simply says, "You can't be too careful with these things, Luke. He's a monster. He's not your father. He's Darth Vader." I'm pretty sure that's not what I said, AI, but I'll let it slide. His words, while harsh, are a comfort. They are a reminder. You don't have to turn every freaking thing into an inspiring speech at the end, AI. All right, so next up, you all fly around for some times. So not a lot happens on the ship ride. They fly around a little bit. You all fly around the galaxy, escaping from the enemy. Eventually, however, here's a question. So Poe in the original series tries to stop the escape attempt. Would he try to stop the escape attempt if Luke and Leia were in charge and not Holdo or whatever her name was? Now that is the question. So you realize that you all need to make an escape attempt to a planet with white and red sand. It's I don't know what it's called, honestly. I guess I don't know Star Wars that well. I can look up the Wikipedia here, and it might not say even. I don't know. I don't think it really matters too much. Make an escape attempt to a planet. You yell out the orders to flee. So, would he have a mutiny, Poe, in this situation if Luke and Leia were doing it? The two saviors of the galaxy. My guess is I don't think so. I mean, I think it was big. It was the new person coming in, so he's really nervous. If it was Luke and Leia doing it, I don't really think he'd want a mutiny. I could do it to make the story more interesting if you all wanted to see something interesting going on, but I just don't think logically, because this is that's the whole point of doing this, to see what would happen if people were a little more logical in Star Wars. And logically, I don't think Poe would do it. So we're just not going to do it. It was kind of a dumb moment anyways. It made Poe seem like kind of a jerk going against orders. It doesn't really make any sense. So we'll just to flee. All of you evacuate to the red and white sand planet. You all fly around the galaxies for many, many days to the red and white sand planet. So now, in this version, Darth. So in this version, in the version of The Last Jedi, during this moment, pretty much, Rey and Kylo have taken out Snoke, who would be just the stand-in for Palpatine. In fact, he's pretty much just Palpatine Snoke in a lot of ways. I actually do really like that they brought back Palpatine. I just don't think they did it in the right way. This should have been the movie they did it. They really needed to do it in this movie. Or they should have made Kylo Ren the main bad guy. That would have been great. Oh, man. But again, you got J.J. Abrams doing one thing, Rian Johnson doing another. Kind of wish J.J. Abrams had just did the entire. Because even though The Last Jedi is technically a really good movie, it's so complicated. It's not that I hate The Last Jedi. I don't know what to make of it. I kind of feel bored by it, kind of feel entertained by it, kind of think it's too perfect, kind of think it manages to be good enough. It's definitely not one of the worst movies I've ever seen, for sure. Definitely not the worst Star Wars movie. There's one that is way, way worse. It has that almost Italian-sounding guy. I am a Jar being so. That's kind of, is it Italian? What the heck is it even is that guy's accent? I don't know. I give Jar Jar Binks credit, though. He looks kind of cool. It's stupid, but I could see him being a background character for sure. I'd love him as a background character. Even just doing his thing, it'd be fine. It's just put him front and center. He can't really carry anything. He could be out in the background of the diner just going all he wants. I wouldn't be bothered by that. All of you evacuate to the right. You are being attacked by the enemy. You fight. During the fight, to your astonishment, Finn, Rose, and I almost had a perfect situation there where I could use a comma, and then I realized that I've got to use commas here too. I think you're allowed to do this grammatically, and if not, you all just have to forgive me. I'm going to. I want this. I want this by itself right here. That is to your astonishment. It's so good, but I'm not even 100% sure it's allowed, and it ticks me off. Dude, what else are you supposed to do in this situation? It should be allowed. I'm doing it. Finn, Rose, and BB arrive. They are unharmed. You make sure they are not hit. You then, while resting in the cave, you hear word from Darth Vader. Come, Luke. He says, you are surrounded. The enemy will the Empire will destroy the rebels now. But I can hold them off with one word. Come to me, Luke, and we will see. You look around. I don't think he's going to have a choice in this situation. There is no place for the rebels to run. No choice. Do you even have a choice? What do you say to your father now? Some real father-son issues going on here. The endless days of running have finally come to an end. We've been cornered on this red and white sand planet, and the enemy is that's the planet's name, red and white sand planet. The whole planet is called that works because the whole Earth is just called Earth. Maybe there is a red and white sand planet name out there. I mean, we got pretty lazy with our naming too. There's Earth here. Let's call this place Earth. Some dude's like, seriously? There's not even really that much Earth. I mean, most of this is water. We're calling it Earth. We are calling it Earth. I thought of it. Okay, dude. Okay. The endless days of running have finally come to an end. We've been cornered on this red and white sand planet, and the enemy is upon us. I look around. He's right. There is no place for us to run. No escape. We are trapped. My mind races, trying to find a solution, a way to save my friends without sacrificing myself. But there is none. My father has cornered me. Mercy is not a word in his... we'll do this. My logic, my training, my every instinct tells me this is a trap. He is a master manipulator. He is not offering a choice. He is offering a delusion. Mercy is not a word in his vocabulary. But I can't let my friends die. I can't let the rebellion fall. I look at Leia, at Han, at Chewbacca, at the brave new soldiers who have joined our fight. I look at Finn, Rose, and BB-8. Thank you. They all... I didn't know it ended with 8. Sorry. AI helped me there. They are all looking at me, waiting for my decision. There is no choice. The lives of my friends, the future of the rebellion, the hope of the galaxy all depends on me. I must go to him. I must face my father. I must face the darkness. I will come, I say, my voice a quiet whisper that echoes through the silence. I will come, my father. The words are a vow, a promise, and a last hope. I am a Jedi, and I will not let my friends die. I will not let the rebellion fall. I will face my father, and I will be ready. So this is an interesting situation, because this is where Luke dies. And in this version of the story, are we going to let that happen? Probably not, because even in that version, in the version of The Last Jedi, it was pretty dumb. He just somehow he uses his force powers and weakened himself to death. It was really stupid. I didn't understand it. But he might die. He might die. We're gonna see. You go up to the big ships. Oh, I will say that for The Last Jedi, that scene of Luke going up to those giant freaking like the camel ships things, that was pretty impressive. It was just so intense, that moment. By the way, how are you all doing? What do you all think of BB-8? He's basically R2-D2, right? I mean, I do like that he can move around a little faster. I do have to give BB-8 that. I thought he was pretty harmless, honestly. I mean, it was just basically R2-D2 again. So, this is basically the same thing. I don't really see any difference. I mean, they just beep, so I don't really know how anyone could find any difference between BB-8 and R2-D2, with the exception of their designs. But yeah, no, I mean, he's fine. BB-8's fine. I don't know why they just didn't do R2-D2. Maybe that's too on the nose. I don't know. You go up to the ships. You are let on board. I can see that happening. You take an elevator with your father, Darth Vader. It is a very awkward moment. You have the desire. You feel a fart coming on, but you're really holding it back very hard. As hard as you can. Luckily, you are able to hold it in. We can have fun here, even in this dramatic moment. Darth Vader leads you. Now, I would say the setup would be the exact same as it is with Rey, with those red guys and Snoke. It's a bit debatable because it's a different place they're in, different kind of ship. It's a different time that event happens at a completely different time. But I'm going to still say that's what happens. Oh, wait a minute. We got another problem, another issue going on. In The Last Jedi, Rey's the one that gets the rebels out of that rock place. So it'll be interesting to see how we could possibly save them in this situation. Darth Vader leads you to Palpatine. He sits on his high throne. A ghostly, his face ashen white, and his eyes piercing red. He looks down upon you. He seems so mighty, so powerful in the ways of the Force. The ways of the Force. Your friends will soon die, Skywalker, he says. Strike me down. Prove yourself powerful. You raise up your lightsaber. You can end it now. Do you? Let's hear what the AI has to say about the fart. The elevator ride with my father is a silent, agonizing journey. The air is thick with tension, and the unspoken words between us feel heavier than the dark armor he wears. Every fiber of my being is forcing myself not to fart. My fear and the sheer awkwardness of the moment. Oh, come on. It doesn't mention the fart. What? You're just going to ignore that? All right. We arrive at the Emperor's throne. 2 fiery bits. Oh, gosh. That's so poetic. How does AI do this stuff sometimes? 2 fiery pits of red stare into my very soul. AI, you can write. That's a second it did that. I mean, it's aggravating for me. It's like, oh, man. I thought I did really good there, too. So he is offering me a choice. He is offering me a path to victory. And all I only care about is no, I say, my voice steady, my gaze fixed on his. I will not strike you down. I am a Jedi. I will not give in to hatred. I lower my lightsaber. I have made a choice, and I am ready for whatever the future holds. Skywalker, says the Emperor, you will attack soon enough. He raises up his hands. Electricity shoots out of his palm. It hits you. You fall down onto the ground, crying out in pain. Darth Vader watches as you wreath on the floor in agony. Father, you yell. Father, please. The Emperor increases his attack. Your father can't help you, he says. He is come to the dark side. He has become the dark side. He shall be. The two of us shall rule this galaxy. This galaxy. Together. You try to speak, but another burst of Palpatine's lightning, we'll just say electricity. It's weird because, as far as I can tell, I'm sure there's more to this, but as far as I can tell from the movies, basically the only difference that you get with the light side and the dark side is with the dark side, you can shoot electricity out of your palms, which is just kind of pointless compared to all the other stuff you get just being on either side. I guess Darth Vader can do a chokehold, though, to be fair. Which is pretty cool. I have to say, pretty cool power. I think he has to be watching people when he does that, even if it's like on a screen. I think that's the general rule of it. Electricity stops you. You know this is where you will die. You know this is where you will die. But then you hear a noise. Yeah. Darth Vader has struck Palpatine with a lightsaber. Palpatine lets out a scream. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, would Darth Vader do this in this situation after so many years being controlled by him and becoming one with the dark side? Would this situation even happen like this? Well, we know from the original trilogy it happens like this. And Luke did save his life in, what was it? He did save his life in in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. I think he would. I think Darth Vader's going to show his good side. The whole point is that he does end up showing his good side. And I think secretly he's kind of been moving towards his son quite a lot over the years with Palpatine and just didn't know how to get out of it. I think this would be the breaking point, seeing his own son writhing on the ground in agony. Hey, if any of y'all disagree, go ahead and say so. I'll kill him. I'll kill Luke. He's died once. He can die again. We can just kill him off here. This is where he's supposed to die, right? Nobody wants him dead. We're going to let him live. Palpatine lets out a scream. So it's basically the same thing that happened in The Last Jedi. Would it happen like this? I don't see why not. I mean, it's not, Kylo Ren and Darth Vader are not the same individuals, but the same sort of thing and the same sort of like response is happening between those two characters, I think, in this situation. He falls to the ground dead. Come on, Luke. I changed. You look up at him. Let's see how AI reacts to this. Darth Vader stands there. Your father stands there. Stands there. Did you fart in the elevator? No, I won't do that. Stands there. Okay, that'll do. Just a sec. The Emperor's words are a torrent of pure malice, a testament to his evil. The electricity that shoots from his hand is a living fire, a searing agony that consumes my body. Father! I cry out, a desperate final plea. Father, please! He stands there, his breathing labored. Oh, let's see what he says about his father. And standing over him is my father. He stands there, his breathing labored, his chest heaving. He does not look at me, but at the body of the man he has served for so long. He has done it. He has saved me. He has killed the Emperor. The logic of my Jedi training, my belief in compassion and redemption, has finally been vindicated. The monster was just a mask. My father was there all along. He was there, watching, waiting, and when the time came, he made a choice. He chose me. He chose the light. He chose redemption. My journey is not over. The war is not over. But my father is not a monster. He is a man who was lost and has finally been found. And in his redemption, I have found my own. Oh, that's sweet. Good job, AI. Okay. Gosh, I love you, AI. AI can be very fake sweet, I guess you could call it. I don't know. I mean, who's to say we're not being fake sweet? Who's to say we're not a prompt and it just seems like we're being sweet? Just saying. You guys, the two of you don't have time. Two of you don't have time. Time to have your happy family reunion yet. The soldiers begin to attack. You and your father fight. Oh, and that was another cool thing about The Last Jedi. I will admit that battle with those red guys was... The soldiers begin to attack. You and your father fight them. Fight them. You have a lot of force power. Between the two of you. So you are easily able to do it. You eventually escape the ship. So, in the original version of The Last Jedi, Kylo Ren was like, yeah, will you rule the galaxy with me, Rey? And we can be unstoppable. So would that happen in this version of the story? Is Darth Vader the type? It's tough. That's a tough one. I don't think so. No, I don't know, guys. What do you think? I mean, do you think Darth Vader in this situation would be like, yeah, let's rule the galaxy together? It's just a different individual we have with Darth Vader. You know, Kylo Ren stinks in so many ways, whereas you eventually escape to, we'll say, to a pod. Sure, why not? You eventually escape to a pod. Father. Well, son, says Darth Vader. Well, begins Darth Vader. Luke, let's have him choose. Luke, would you like to join me on the dark side? To join me in taking over this galaxy? You would be unstoppable, powerful. And, of course, we could let your friends and Leia live. What do you say? The five of us. What do you say? So Luke's going to have to decide if he wants to take over the entire universe. I know my answer would be yes. I look at him. I see the man who killed the Emperor, the man who saved my life, but I also see the man who fell to the dark side, the man who was a monster. His offer, wrapped in the guise of love and power, is a final, beautiful lie. The Jedi way is not about power, it is about compassion. It is about sacrifice. It is about service. The dark side is a path of slavery, not of power. It's a path that would lead me to become a monster just like him. It would be a betrayal of his sacrifice, a betrayal of my friends, and a betrayal of the galaxy. I look at him, and my heart is filled with a profound and terrible sadness. I have lost my father once, and I will not lose him again. No, I say, my voice steady, my gaze fixed on his. I will not join you. I will not rule this galaxy. We are not meant to be rulers. We are meant to be guardians. We are meant to be Jedi. Okay, Mr. Little Perfect. I'm a Jedi. I am a guardian. I am a son, and I will not let the darkness win. Okay, more stuff about the future. We can talk about it later, says Darth Vader. So you have to ask the question, would Darth Vader be able to convince his own soldiers to stop attacking since Palpatine just got killed? I don't think so, because they just watched Darth Vader and Luke kill Palpatine. It would come across as very suspicious if suddenly Darth Vader was like, yeah, I killed all these people. I killed my Emperor. I'm totally still on the Empire side, but let's not kill the rebels and Luke. Now, Darth Vader knows he's got to run. He's got to run if he wants to be with his son right now, says Darth Vader. Let's go save your friends. See how AI reacts to this. My father, my words hang in the air between us, a stark refusal of his offer. I have chosen the path of the Jedi, of a life of service and sacrifice. I have chosen the light. My father, who is once Darth Vader, looks at me, and I prepare for the worst. I prepare for him to strike me down, to end my life, to let the darkness win, but he doesn't. We can talk about it later, he says, his voice a low, raspy whisper. Let's go save your friends. A wave of profound and terrible relief washes over me. He has chosen me. He has chosen the light. Let's go, I say, and I follow him out of the pod. All right. So, yeah. So I'm just going to say, you and Darth Vader head to the back of the cave, because there's no one patrolling the back of the cave for some reason. That is one thing that doesn't make sense in the original story. You can hear Leia, Han, Solo, Poe, and the rest struggling against the rocks. They need a way out. What will the two of you do? I think I already know the answer. Let's see. We're getting close to the end. I'm not going to hold you up for more than an hour, too much more than an hour. So are they going to try to use the Force? I'm just going to say they levitate the rocks. Okay. Because it doesn't seem like it came to that natural. The two of you use your Force power to lift the rocks. Soon, your friends are freed. So is there anything else I'm forgetting? Am I making any mistake? I think we're pretty much at the end almost. Don't want to keep you all too much past an hour, like I said. So Luke survived. And if he had been logical, he would have survived, and his father would be on their side. I'm not entirely sure who's ruling over the Empire right now. I'm guessing it's going to be Palpatine and Snoke's body now. But it's going to make some weird stuff start to happen. That's the problem. Palpatine can't just die here, because according to The Rise of Skywalker, he didn't die. He was transported to a clone's body in some kind of weird, I don't know. It didn't really make any sense. But to be fair, I don't really hate The Rise of Skywalker. I think I kind of like it more than this movie, to be honest. I don't know why, really, because in a way, this movie's technically made a lot better than The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I think we're done, actually. So, yeah. I'm glad to see that Luke did not die. Soon your friends are freed. You escape. You still have another journey to go on. But now at least your father is at your side. For the moment, at least. All right, I think that's good enough. So, they got Darth Vader on their side. Would it have happened that way? Would Darth Vader have joined up with Luke, Leia, and them, or would he have just been too? It's very much. You have to admit, it's very debatable. It is very debatable. I feel like things might have happened this way. It's hard to say for certain. I mean, he was already under the darkness for a long time by the time of the Return of the Jedi. That was quite a lot of years, and he still ended up killing Palpatine. That's something I want you all to keep in mind before you judge my decision to have Darth Vader kill Palpatine. And he did do it in a similar way to Kylo Ren. I don't know. That was one of the that was really the no. I could have had the Emperor kill Darth Vader in this situation, but the environment was different. And the environment, and I just had to use Kylo Ren a little bit as an example of what might happen. But anyways, so I hope you all enjoyed it. I have been holding in a fart for a very long time now, and I'm going to be using the Force to get it out in just a moment. But thank you all for joining me from a galaxy far, far away. I'll be seeing you soon. Next week, actually. Use the Force. Use the Force here. Use the Force.